Shalom and welcome to Challenging Torah, a project of the Malibu Jewish Center and Synagogue. This week's portion is a double one, Acharei Mot and Kedoshim. And we are at the center of the center of the center of the 5 books of Moses. When you open the book up, there is the statement, "You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." What does it mean to be holy? What is the essence of holiness? The sages immediately say, no, this doesn't mean that you're just like God, but that God's holiness is sanctified and shown in the world by your actions, by your mitzvot, by who you are. You are to be a holy people, but you are also to be holy individuals. Well, how do I do that? And there's a sense of holiness as being a place of separation. We separate sacred times, and we know that we have Shabbat each week as a holy space. We have Pesach. We have a round of holidays that follow from that. We mark holy time as separate time. The building of the tabernacle showed us that we mark holy space as separate space. This is space that's to be treated not like all other space. And many of the rules in the book of Leviticus are really about how do you use this holy space, what we call the instruction manual for the priests. It's that little booklet that says, do not immerse this in water, right? As a matter of fact, what happens to the sons, Nadab and Avihu, the sons of Aaron, in the portion of Shmini, but again told to us in Acharei Mot, they place strange fire and their souls are taken from them. They didn't follow the directions. And so now we begin this portion with the injunction to Aaron, speak to Aaron your brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place, inside the veil, that he not die. For I will appear upon the cloud, upon the covering. Don't walk in at any time, but only at the sacred times that the priest is to enter the Holy of Holies. And so before he may do that and then purify the people, it is important and detailed that Aaron must purify himself. He is told, he shall offer the bull of his offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and his home. Only then can he turn to the Israelite community and say, purify yourselves, bring me your sins. I will place them on the head of a goat once a year on the ultimate day of atonement, and send that goat out into the wilderness and purify the community. Why purify? This has all been about purity and impurity. Impurity is when it's not flowing properly. We are not respectful of the boundaries. This is the moment of Yom Kippur, right? But he can only do that if he himself is pure. And so, we then get the guidelines for holy action. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my injunctions, which if a human being lives in them, he shall live. I am the Lord thy God. If not, you are to live by them, not die by them. They are the guidelines for your life. Holiness is a separation of your activities into the place that says, I am at my holiest, purest place. I am conscious when I do things. There are boundaries. One of the boundaries is sexual. You don't just sleep with anyone. No, you don't sleep with a whole list of incestuous relationships, and it is highly recommended that you do not sleep with your mother-in-law. We come to the core. How do we treat other human beings? Turns out that it's not just about the don't do rules, but the do rules. When you reap the cornered harvest of your land, you shall not reap the corners of your field. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord. You shall not deal with each other falsely. You shall not steal. You shall not lie to one another. You shall not defraud your neighbor. Al tanu et achicha. Nor rob him. The wages of a person who is hired shall not remain with you all night until morning. Pay your people. You shall not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block in front of the blind. You shall not go up and down as a slanderer among your people. And you shall not stand in the blood of your neighbor. Get involved, God says. I am the Lord your God. Even more difficult. You shall not hate your brother in your heart. Wow, now we're getting to the core. You shall not bear a grudge. You shall reason with your neighbor. You shall not avenge, but you will love your neighbor with all your heart. You will love your neighbor as yourself. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Clearly, you need to purify, be conscious, and love yourself. It starts from you, that core, and then to your neighbor, to your community, and to the world that you live in. But it's not about restrictions. All those rules are really not for separation, but for unity. You are to love your neighbor as yourself. And so in the end, the love you make is equal to the love that you take, and the love you take is equal to the love that you make. The Beatles were right. Abbey Road is right up there with the mission of the world. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Shabbat shalom.